Alright YouTube, what is happening? As promised, the final top 10 video from basically we're doing knives here from $150 to $200. So under 200 but over 150 here. And we've got 10 exciting, awesome knives here, I think, that you can get in this price range. This is really where this price range starts for this. You really start getting into the really high-end stuff, really good stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the least expensive model, which is the Ziti 050. This is one of my favorite EDC knives ever. This one has been customized by blades we love, but you can get the standard 450 in titanium for 160 bucks. Sometimes you can find them on Amazon for even less than 150, but because the price is typically in the matte pricing for ZTs is 160, that's why I pumped it into this bracket, not the previous video. So you get S35, you get titanium, you can get carbon fiber and titanium, S35 as well. There's also a G10 variant, lots of options. Very, very smooth knives, very customizable, lots of cool things you can get for them. Different hardware. I've got titanium standouts on here instead of the aluminum ones, but one of the better EDC knives out there in my opinion. Just a good size. About a medium-sized knife, I'd call it, maybe even small. 3 1/4 inch blade, S35 VN, bearing flipper, made in the U.S. by ZT, lifetime warranty. Again, this is where you're getting into the higher-end production knives, and it's kind of my wheelhouse. So the first one is the ZT 0450, and we're going to go in order of expense here, cost, and a lot of them are the same, but the Kaiser's probably the next ones up. The Gemini here, or even the Benchmade, not that exact Benchmade, but anyway, the Gemini is a fantastic folder. Again, a smaller to mid-sized knife, S35 titanium, bearing flipper, very awesome design by Ray Laconico. The Gemini really doesn't need a lot of explanation, or it's been around for a little while, and it's still one of my favorite EDC knives, and you can get it for 170 bucks, and it has great flipping action, very, very comfortable handle. Nice blade shape for EDC. Again, good steel in S35. They upgraded the clips on the newer ones with the milled titanium, which is a nice feature. So the Gemini definitely needs your consideration, especially because it's around the $170 mark, and you can even find them cheaper right now. They're on sale all over the place for even less money, but typically that would be the price is around the 170 mark. So Kaiser Gemini, number 2 on the list. Very, very good EDC, very similar in size to the ZT 0450. And I reviewed this knife as well. We'll stick with, well, actually we'll switch it up and go to the Benchmade. Now this particular Benchmade is not in this realm, but there is quite a few 940s, and I use this one as a representation. This is my personal 940. This is the Going Gear exclusive with 20 CV steel and the C-Tech, but you can get a standard 940 for under $200 easy any day. And my favorite one, minus this one, is the G10, the 940-2 with the green standoffs and this 30 blade, 170 bucks. The 940 is like literally one of the best EDC knives ever in my opinion. I've added the deep carry clip here, as you can see. One of the best carry knives ever, and there's so many different variants, the aluminum, the G10, the carbon fiber. A lot of the ones are going to cost you over 200, but there is a few options. The 940, the 943, and the 940-2 are all under $200. They're on the 170 mark. So the 940 is definitely one that I had to include in this. Love the size. This one has a really smooth action. My last 940 was really excellent too. You can kind of get hit and miss with the Benchmades on quality control, so if you can, handle one first. But again, I'm not EDC Hall of Fame in my opinion. So. Alright, let's move on to the next Kaiser, because they're around the 175 mark here with the Kaiser Task, or the T1 or Task 1 by Uli Hendrik, I believe is how you say his name, German designer. I reviewed this knife, and at first I wasn't enamored with it, but it was a very solid knife, but I was kind of going through a weird phase of I wanted something more exciting than just titanium handles. Well, guess what, guys? This is a phenomenal knife. One of my best knives of 2017 purchases. I mean, it's that good. It's under the 200 mark. You get very nice titanium handles with some nice chamfering. You have really nice contouring. You have S35, very nicely done blade, very thin behind the edge, nice cutter, ball bearing pivot with thumb studs. It should fly right out of there, which it does. You can do the middle finger flick. You can do the thumb. Superior, I mean, just great ergonomics. Another great size knife. This is kind of like the medium Sebenza that's never been invented or never been produced by Chris Reeve. This is the size right here. It's in between the small and the large. You have your lanyard attachment and milled pocket clip, but I absolutely love this knife. It's one of the best knives of 2017, and it's under 200 bucks. And these are on sale too. Blade HQ has them for like 140 bucks right now. Typically they're over that, so I put them in the higher price range. They're usually 175, but they are on sale right now as of this video, which is, you know, right before Thanksgiving 2017. So that could obviously change, but Kaiser T1 or Task 1, however you want to say it, however you want to call it. Excellent knife. Definitely deserves to be included in this video. Again, Kaiser's killing them. You got two Kaiser models here that are fantastic. I think these are the two best Kaisers, in my opinion, the Gemini and the T1. But there's lots of good options in this. But you're getting titanium S35 on everything. So far, you know, the S35's kind of been the steel here. But we're going to actually step it up a little bit on the steel and go with the Benchmade Griptilian. This is the 551-1. This is actually on loan from my buddy Curtis, and this is his personal knife. It's the large Griptilian. You can also find the small with the gray G10, the gray and blue G10, and really cool blue liners almost, but it is part of the handle, so it's gray and blue. And you have the blue standoffs. Deep carry pocket clip is standard. You get 20 CV steel, so you are definitely upgrading from the S35 in the last few models there. 20 CV is equivalent to M390, which is one of my favorites. And you get the nice access lock. This one is the full size, which is a pretty good sized knife. I'd call it a large knife. But you can also get the mini in the same price range. You're stepping up big time from the other Griptilians because you're getting that 20 CV steel and G10 handles, where a lot of the Griptilians just have those plastic handles. These are definitely an upgrade from that. I highly recommend paying a little extra money if you want a grip and getting this variation. This is the best one they've ever made, in my opinion. You get nice high-end steel, nice looking G10, really cool blue. Just a handsome looking knife. So Griptilian 551-1. These run about 178 to 190 on Amazon. I'll put some, and again, I'll link all these knives like I have been in the descriptions below, but we'll get them all on there. But so that's actually covered 5. I've done that in under 10 minutes. That's not bad. I've reviewed all these knives on my channel, every single one of them. So, you know, there's more detailed videos which I can link below in the description if you want to get in more detail about a particular knife. But again, this is a top 10 video, so we've gone through the 5. Let's move on. We'll go into the next tier pricing here, which is probably going to be the Real Steel S571 or the Viper Storm. These are really close. Let's start with the Real Steel just because it's sitting here. This is a fantastic knife for the money. This is one of Real Steel's Pro line. This is the S571 Pro. This has LMAX steel with titanium handles, titanium pocket clip, needle bearings, which are very smooth. Ooh, it's really not that hard to flip out. That was kind of weird. Has a really good detent. This is a big knife. This is probably the biggest knife on the table, that or the Ziti 562, but very close. It's a full-size knife. It's a nice flat grind. You get LMAX steel, lock bar insert on there, super smooth flipping action. It came perfectly centered. This is actually a fantastic blade for under $200. It's usually, most dealers around 180. Amazon's up to 200, which is odd, but or 199. But you can get them for 180. Nice jimping here on the thumb ramp. It's not terribly aggressive, but it's functional. This has fantastic ergonomics. It's a big knife, but it's very lightweight. They've lightened it quite a bit. There's some milled pockets in there, so you're getting some features on this knife that you would normally find in the 250 range. So that's what makes this one a really good deal, and it is readily available. It is part of the Pro Series. They do come in, you know, with a collector's card and such. This one does have standoffs as well as a lanyard pin there, and it has this beta lock or whatever they call it, and you know, whatever to that, you don't need to use that because it's not necessary. It works as an over travel stop as well. But this is a great knife, guys, for the money. Nice, very smooth, but nicely contoured titanium, so it's very comfortable. Nice flipping. I mean, this literally probably is one of the nicer knives on the table, and it's only 108 bucks, and you get nice LMAX steel, so you can't go wrong with the Real Steel S571. The Viper Storm is the next knife that I want to talk about, it's right around there in the price range that I need, that it's under $200. But this one is a new knife for this year from Viper in collaboration with Rick Hinderer. This is essentially like the Half Track, and MP1 had a baby and came up with this knife. It's a little bit bigger than the Half Track, but a little smaller than the MP1. And the big difference here is you get M390 blade steel. Yes, M390 under $200 is a fantastic deal. These are really well built knives, nice titanium handles. They're technically a frame lock. I mean, it's kind of a liner because there's this G10 liner over it, but it's also, if you were to take that liner off, it would still lock up. So it's, I don't know, kind of in between a frame and a, I don't know what you'd call it, liner lock probably, but it's definitely more like a frame lock to me. So anyway, nice bearing flipping action on this one. Thumb studs are functional. The ergonomics are fantastic. It's available in many colors. You have carbon fiber, G10, and then you have G10, you have orange, purple, and green, and black. So 4 different colors of G10. You can get different attachments here. It does have the Hinderer MBS, so you can change out the back spacer by just moving that set screw. I think I have the lanyard hole and the glass breaker attachment for this one, and that's all for under $200. Takes the Hinderer hardware for the pocket clip anyway. There is no lock bar stabilizer on this one because of the G10 scales, I'm assuming. You know, that's not truly a frame lock. But overall, very well built knife. I was pretty impressed with these by Viper. This one's got a good detent that works for both ways. Very, very good ergonomics. I did a review on this one. This one, or the one I reviewed, was a buddy's. And I actually went and bought one because I really liked it, and I thought for the money it's an exceptionally good deal. So under $200, gets you M390 steel with a bearing pivot, titanium G10. You can also get the carbon fiber one even under $200. So lots of options there, and they are a well-made knife. I have no qualms at all with the Viper Storm. Sometimes Viper can be hit or miss, but in this case it's been really nice. All right. Next up is the Vox knives. Vox. It is designed by Vox. It's made by Fox. That's confusing. This is the Fox Knives Tur, designed by Jesper Voxnay. So this one is actually on loan from my good buddy Stasa23. I'm doing a shout out for his channel. We're gonna put a link in the description of his channel. Go check him out. He provided a couple of the knives for this video. He's just starting out his YouTube, and he needs some new subscribers, guys. He definitely knows his stuff. He's very knowledgeable. Does lots of sharpening. You can see a pretty nice mirror edge on this LMAX blade. So make sure you go check out Stasa23's channel, guys. He's been in the knife community for a long time. I've done trades, bought knives from him. I mean, we've known each other for a while, and he's just a good dude, and it's nice to see him doing some YouTube stuff. So the Tur is a great knife for the money, under $200. It's $183 on Amazon. Some stores have it over $200, but you can find it regularly under $200. You get nice, just really well done carbon fiber, titanium clip, back spacer with a nice bronze finish. You get an LMAX blade that has a really nice, fantastic ergonomics on this knife. It's a smaller knife, but it's like just right in that perfect size for me for EDC. There it is next to this, the 0450. You can see a very, very similar size. And the Gemini. And I actually had one of these knives for a while. I ended up having to sell it for some reason. I can't remember why. But for me, it definitely needed to be on this list. It's another new knife for this year. You have quite a few models on here that are new for 2017. But the Fox Knives Tur, it comes in carbon fiber handles only, but you can either get a coated or a satin finish blade. And it's a fantastic knife for the money. Again, made by Fox in Italy, so you got a few Italian-made knives here. But very, very good knife for the money. Definitely worthwhile on this list at under $200. I think it's fantastic. Really good slicer. In fact, I cut myself, not on this one, but the one I had, I cut myself worse than I have in a long time. It's just a slice right through the top of my thumb. So, Fox Knives Tur. Alright, next up, another knife from Stasa23 is the Spyderco Spidey Chef. This is a fantastic model for under $200. Just under $200. You're looking at $197 for this guy. Designed by Martin Schliss. It's the Schliss Bowie, same guy that did Schliss Bowie and the Swish Bowie, I guess is how you say it. So Martin Swish and the Techno. Same designer here. You have LC200N steel, which is a fantastically, it's a new steel for knives, but it's very, very water resistant. It's very corrosion resistant. It's up there with H1 as far as its resistance, but the edge retention is 10 times better than H1. It's like way better. That's one of the. It's really, really a cool steel. I really like it, and it's actually better than S35 for edge retention. It's up there with XHP and some of those steels. The Spidey Chef itself, though, as a knife, is just awesome. It's very thin in the handle. It's very comfortable, nice ergonomics. You get a nice chamfered titanium handle, very comfortable. Phosphorus bronze washers, so it's got a nice smooth action. Carbonized lock face, so you don't have any lock stick. It's got the deep carry wire clip. Just a ton going on for this knife. Another one that I sold that I regretted, and I'm going to buy another one. I would like to see some jimping here. Other than that, it's fantastic, and I'm going to buy another Spidey Chef soon because it's a fantastic folder, right under the $200 mark, which is crazy because the Slish Bowie is $300, which actually just got discontinued. But it's different of a knife. I mean, and it's $100 difference. It's crazy. So I think Spyderco really hit on the head of the price point of this one. I think this is a fantastic model, one of the best under $200 that you can get, because you get this great steel that's very, very corrosion resistant. Very cool design. Nice slim titanium handles with great ergos. Really good slicing blade. Obviously it's designed for food prep, but the steel is great. I mean, that's one of the best things you're getting on this knife is that steel in this price point. So just under 200. Alright guys, we're getting on to 17 minutes. I thought I was doing good, and bam, here we are. Okay, last but not least, the Ziti 562. This is on loan from a fellow Utahn and Utah EDCer, Tyler, a former Blade HQ employee. He let me borrow this knife for this video, so I want to shout out him for that. Appreciate it. This 562 can be had right at the $200 mark. That's the MSRP. But you can get them on Amazon a lot for under $200. They are an authorized dealer, so you don't have to worry about fakes. I had a lot of people ask me that. As long as if it's sold on Amazon and it's sold by Amazon, you're good. If it's on Amazon and it's sold by a third-party seller, you may want to be a little leery of that. But the 562 is a Hinderer design. You're gonna get, this has, like I said, a custom scale, but you're gonna get G10 scale. They've changed to S35 VN steel. It was LMAX for a while. Fantastic model, great Hinderer design, nice slicer, that slicer grind. You get another ZT made in the USA, lifetime warranty, just a beefy frame lock, good sized knife. It's larger but not, you know, too big. I think it's right around the size of this real steel. I think the real steel might actually be a little longer on the handle, but fantastic knife, bearing, KVT bearing flipper. I love the 562. It doesn't mean a lot of, you know, I don't need to talk about it too much because it's just such a fantastic model. And you can get the 562 carbon fiber if you want to spend a little more than $200 and get the M3, or it was M390, now it's 204P or 20CV even. So you can get an upgraded model with a little bit better steel and carbon fiber handles as well. So you got to include the ZTO 562 under 200. I'll put a link in the description where you can get it for under $200 on Amazon right now. But typically the MSRP, or excuse me, the MAP pricing is $200 on this knife. So. But there you go, guys. That's 10 knives from $150 to $200. I think you have so many good options here. This is where it's at right here in this price range. Because when you get up to over 200, you're not really gaining much over these knives at all. You're really, especially some of these like the M390 Storm. I mean, usually you're going to get a little bit better steel. Like the 562 carbon fiber is $240. And you're getting better steel, so it's worth an extra $40. But a lot of times you're getting similar steels, and you know you're not getting much more for your money in that price range. So this is kind of the wheelhouse. That's why I wanted to stop with this video. I'm not going to go over $200 just because 10 knives over $200 is a lot of money. And some of these are mine, some are on loan. So I appreciate again those Stasa 23 that loaned me the Tur and the Spidey Chef, and Tyler that loaned me the Z562, and then my buddy Curtis, of course, always comes through. He's had a few knives in these series of videos, and he loaned me the 551-1. So lots of great options here, guys, in this price point. Let me know what you think of my selections. I think they're pretty solid. There's lots of good knives in this price range, so this was hard to pick 10, but I think I picked a pretty solid lineup. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.